Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching, then welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this nice purple and white cut crease with a little bit of shimmer. It's quite annoying actually because my lighting is like making the shimmer reflect back, so you can't really see it too well on the camera, but hopefully you guys will be able to see what it looks like in the photo. So for today's look, I used the Jeffree Star Cremated palette and also the Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette. I just feel like these two palettes are like made to be together. The black and the greys I just think look so pretty with purple, and there's also like that teal shade as well, red, and yeah, just some other like different colors that aren't purple. So I think they go really nicely together, and this is a look that I've been wanting to do for a little while, and I've been wanting to mix the two palettes together for a little while as well. And it has been a little while since I filmed a makeup tutorial. It's been like over a week and it's just been a really full-on time for me. I've just been really looking forward to just getting back and just filming a look and getting a video done and sharing that with you guys. So thank you for hanging in there for this video. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you would like to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. Okay, eyebrows, eyeshadow base. So as always, I'm using a white eyeshadow base. This is going to help with the purple eyeshadow that we use to make it pop and stand out a bit more. So I think that using a lighter base for this look is, ideal. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going in with my Cremated palette, and I'm going to go in with this shade here called Hearse. I'm going to be applying this using a small blending brush. There's just a size difference between a regular blending brush and the size that I'm using. The smaller brush is going to help keep that in a more defined area. So I'm using this brush and taking that black shade Hearse, and I'm applying this into my crease and just packing it on by using small circular motions. And that's really just going to help buff that color in, and it's also going to keep the edges nice and blended. And I'm just doing this as like deep into the eye socket as I can go. I don't want to bring this up too high because I want the crease colors to remain quite low even after they've been blended. And yeah, just getting that nice impact on and looking very black. Okay, so we've got the black in the crease and it's slightly blended out just a little bit just to help with this next step. And the next step is I'm taking my Bloodlust palette and I'm going to go in with this shade here called High King. High King. And I'm going to go in with this densely packed crease brush, and I'm using this to apply High King to the I'm using this to apply High King to the edge of the black that we've got in the crease. So I'm going to use this to blend the black out by applying in small circular motions, half on the black and half on the skin above the black, and just applying this all the way across the crease and just getting those colors blended in together and packing on that purple shade as well. So we want that to be nice and vibrant. Next we're going to get that all blended out nicely. So I'm taking a fluffy blending brush and I'm going to go back in with my Cremated palette and this shade here called Deathblow, and I'm using that to blend out the edges of what we've got on the eye. So just using a very small amount of pressure and small circular motions along the edge of what we've got on the eye, and that's just going to blend out the edges and diffuse them and make it look like a gradient. And once we've got that blended out nicely, I want to go back in with the same purple shade and the black shade and just reapply those to build up the color and getting those really nice and blended out. And also going back in with the white shade as well and just using that to blend it out even more until the blend looks nice and blended. So we've got the crease colors down and I think it's looking pretty nice and blended, so I'm going to move on to the next step, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep the eye to do the cut crease. So I'm taking a flat rounded concealer brush and some Vaseline, and I'm using this to remove the product off of the eyelid. So the Vaseline is just going to loosen up the eyeshadow and the base, and then I'm going to wipe that away with a cotton tip. And I'm just doing this in the same way that I would with a base, so making sure the shape is nice, and then making sure that all the Vaseline is off the eye as well. Okay, so we've got the eyelid prepped to do the cut crease, so now we're going to do the cut crease. So I'm taking my P.Louise base in the shade Rumor 0 and a flat rounded concealer brush, and I'm just applying this where I've already prepped the eyelid. So just doing a full cut crease and applying this in tapping motions so that we can get the base to stay as clean as possible. So we're going to be applying a very light shade over top of this, so we want to make sure that the eyeshadow doesn't mix in with the base. We want it to be as white as possible, and we just want to make sure that we get an even application of the base across the entirety of the cut crease. So using the patting motions is going to really help us achieve that. Okay, so that is the crease carved out. Next I'm going to place some eyeshadow onto the crease that we've just carved out. So I'm taking the black shade Hearse and I'm applying that using the same brush to the outer corner of the eye, and I'm using that High King shade and that same brush that I used with that, and I'm using that to blend that onto the eyelid a bit more and just get those edges nice and blended. Then on the rest of the eyelid I'm going to go in with my Cremated palette and that same white shade Deathblow, and using an all over shader brush I'm packing this on and setting that white base and just trying to get this to look as, you know, white as possible. We don't want to get any other colors mixed up in there, and just making sure the entire white part has been set using that eyeshadow. Okay, so that is the top of the eye almost complete. I'm just going to add a couple little final touches. So I'm going to go in with a different all over shader brush, and taking my Bloodlust palette I'm going to go in with this shade here called Pink Magic, and I'm applying this to where I've applied that High King shade, that purple one. So I'm just basically going to cover that section of the eye using that shade. So I'm just going to use that to kind of blend the black into the white and just give it that pop of colour and glitter. Just making sure that this blends in nicely with the black and the white on each side. Now I'm going to move to the under eye area and smoke out the lower lash line. So I'm basically going to be mirroring what I did in the crease on the under eye. So what I'm going to do first is I'm taking some of my P.Louise base and using that same concealer brush that I used before, I'm applying that to my under eye area just to make sure that the eyeshadow has something to stick to. And then I'm going in with the black and the same brush I used for that, and I'm applying that first to the under eye and just making sure that's really packed on, and then moving to High King and that same brush I was using for that and applying that to the under eye. And I'm applying this in small circular motions like I did in the crease, so that I can get those two colours blended in together really nicely. And then once I've done that, I'm going in with the blending brush and the white shade and just making sure that the edges of that are really nice and blended. Okay, so that is the look almost complete. I'm going to go do my face makeup now, and then I'll be back to finish off the rest of the look. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to add in some highlight. So I'm going to highlight the eyes first because I think I'm going to use a different shade for the eyes than I am for the face. So I'm going to be taking a small pencil brush and going in with my Cremated palette and this shade here called Diamond Ashes. And I'm just packing this on to the inner corner of the eye around the tear duct, and I'm applying this also to the brow bone underneath the eyebrow. And now for the highlight on the rest of my face, I'm going to go in with my Bloodlust palette, and I'm going to use this shade here called Beauty Sleep, and I'm going to be applying that with a large fluffy highlighting brush. So I'm just applying this using circular motions to my cheekbones, the tip of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to apply some eyeliner to the waterline. So I'm going to be using my Kylie Cosmetics lip pencil in the shade Kourt K, and just applying this to my waterline just to add in some colour and tie the whole look in together. For my lips, I want to kind of stick with the pinky kind of feel of this look. So I'm going to be using my Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Lipstick in the shade Dreamer. Okay, now the last thing left to do is just to apply mascara and false eyelashes. So the lashes I'm going to be using today are my XO Beauty Faux Mink lashes. These are in the style Thunder. I'm going to pop these on off camera and then I'll be back to show you guys the completed look. Okay, so here we have the completed look with lashes. I'm really happy with the way this look turned out. I think that the black mixed with the purple to create that kind of dark purple is like a really nice contrast to the white, and I just love the way that the shimmery pink shade Pink Magic like just blends into the white and then into the dark purple in the outer corner. And I'm really loving this lipstick as well. I've used it quite a bit lately. I bought 3 lipsticks when I bought this one, and I only ever really use this one lipstick. There's one that I haven't even used at all. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this one. I think because it's kind of like almost like a nude lip, but it's got that pink tone to it, and I've always been like a lover of nude lipsticks, so I think it's kind of like a bit of a compromise. I'm really excited about mixing the Cremated palette with the Bloodlust palette because I just feel like I have a lot of ideas for it, and like this is one of them, and it's turned out really well, and I think that these two palettes just were like made to be together. Really feels good to be doing filming again and doing my makeup again. It has been a little while, so thank you guys for hanging in there with me. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, then give it a thumbs down. But if you did enjoy the video, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and tick that little bell button so you can get notified every time I post a new video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.